Hey everybody, and welcome back to Mainstream Monday here on Horror Film Lovers. I'm your host, Jonathan Moody, and I've got my co-host,
John Ward.
John Ward. We are here to talk about Paranormal Activity, The Marked Ones, which I think you had told me it was a spinoff, but it doesn't seem like a spinoff. It seems like it's in the same series. Like it has Katie in it, and
It's not considered to be in it's canon, but it's not considered to be a number. It is a spinoff.
well, neither is the Ghost Dimension. It doesn't say like Paranormal Activity 6 Ghost Dimension.
No, Ghost
It
Dimension is.
but it doesn't say six, and
That
next of
doesn't.
kin doesn't say seven.
Okay, so they started removing the numbers, but the marked ones is not a number.
Okay, all right. I
Ghost
don't.
Dimension is next of kin is.
It's just it's too weird. I mean, I get it because it kind of doesn't follow the straight line of what they were doing with the other ones. This even takes place in a different area. It wasn't Oxnard, was it? Where was it in California? Um, okay.
It might have been no.
Was it Oxnard?
I think so.
Yeah, I'm looking
That's
this
what you
up
get for
real quick.
watching two movies in a row.
I know, and I did almost watch them like in a row.
I did.
I watched the marked ones, some most of it yesterday, and finished it today, and then I started the whole thing of Ghost Dimension. So it's almost like I forgot a lot of the marked ones. So bear with me. And I think what we're gonna end up doing is going through this plot thing or whatever. Yeah, it's Oxnard. Okay, so I was right. I thought it was, but I wasn't sure. So I said it's not, but it is. So, yeah, so it takes place in Oxnard, which is not where the rest of the stories take place and stuff. I don't think so. Or it's close by, but it's not, you know.
Yeah, I mean, maybe today as a whole it's in there, but I remember when it came out, it was not numbered. It was not like you could go four and then go right into marked ones and then go ghost dimension is
Right,
because
like
it's its own kind of little side thing.
yeah. No, I agree with that because it does sort of take a little bit of a different turn and it concentrates on almost it feels like a whole different movie.
Well,
You know,
I think it feels like Chronicle or
hmm
Brightburn
right.
is that it's very,
Superhero like.
yeah, it's different. And
Or
I
more
do.
super villain, I guess.
I guess at first he starts off as a hero and then goes villain. I mean,
I
when
don't
when he
I
I mean
don't know.
he dispatches the two guys that
I
come
know,
up
and
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 want to
that's
steal his
great
backpack,
that he does that, but like I mean,
and then
he
he
like I
tortures
think
the
he
dog at the end.
I know. What fucking dick. I hated that part. That was like my least favorite part of the movie. I could have done without that because you could hear him whimper and everything, and I was like, "You fucking!" I wanted to go in there and just beat the shit out of the dude, you know. Like I don't care what he can do to me, you know. You fuck with my dog or any dog around you and do something like that, I'm gonna fuck you up, you know. Now that was his own dog, you know. It's even worse, you know. Like who the fuck does
Yeah, the
that shit?
dog. Well, I guess trusted him until he got marked.
I know. It was
So
it's
I
crazy.
think this is a side thing because it's Hispanic. I think that's why. I think that they went with part four, where it's like, oh, what are we gonna do? Okay, let's do a Hispanic, paranormal activity, because they immediately went right back to the white people,
In the
paranormal
house.
activity.
Um,
Yeah.
did you see that letterbox review I sent you?
And it stuff's too long. I
I
just
know.
I just
Did you
I
skim
just
through it at all? Like I didn't want to
no,
read the whole thing.
no, no. Even the videos that I watched, the one video a long time ago that you sent that has where Jason Blum is being interviewed like on a sofa. I saw
Hmm.
that one like a year ago or whatever. The other one was just audio, and I just what am I going to do with audio? I even my
Which one
job
was
is
just audio?
I don't. I just clicked on one of the ones that you sent me, and it was audio.
Oh, that was probably the Oren Pelly one I sent you.
Oh, maybe.
That was
Yeah.
a
What?
podcast.
Yeah. Whatever you sent me, just some of it was just. I'm just now in this position at work where I can't listen to this stuff, and
Right.
if it's too long, I can't really watch it at home,
Hmm.
just because there's just other stuff to do.
Oh, I get
So
it. And
it's
especially
yeah,
watching these
and
fucking movies and stuff like that, you know, like, you
yeah,
know.
then if somebody's gonna write, basically, the Gettysburg Address for a review, I can't. It's just like, no, this is just give me like a short paragraph on if you liked it or not, and that's fine. That's all I need. So
Right. No, I get it. It's just I skimmed
I mean,
through some of it and I was kind of agreeing with a lot of what he said. I'll give you the cliff notes real quick because a lot of what he
sure,
said actually is, true. He said, "All right, let me get this straight. This is the only film in the series with an actual plot." That's right. The only film in the series with an actual structure. The only film in the series with proactive characters instead of merely reactive ones. The only film in the series where characters actually spend a decent amount of time outside.
yeah,
Um, the only film in the series where the characters are all fairly intelligent and immediately take the paranormal threat seriously instead of all just calling each other liars. The only film in the series that actually takes advantage of continuity. And this is the one that Letterboxd hates and thinks didn't do anything different. Wow, words escape me. That's basically his beginning thing. And then he went,
I would
uh,
disagree with that. I think the March ones is one of the best ones. I really like the film. I it's the one that makes me most seasick. Because it's not just like a standing camera; it's them
yeah, it's them running
running a.
around. It's like Blair Witch.
It's
But
worse than Blair Witch, and,
yeah.
and I mean some of it is really bad.
Wait, so you
Eh,
said this is the best one?
no, it's I think it's one of the best ones.
Okay.
Uh, uh, Two is still probably my favorite, but and watching it this time, I was looking stuff up. There's a lot more references to the other movies in this than I thought there were.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a chorus at the very beginning where they find the tapes, and it says, it's got the two sisters' names on it, 1988. So that's our first reference.
Mm-hmm.
And then was it Katie and Chrissy? Christy? What's the
Christy?
other?
Christy?
Is it Christy?
Something
I
like
think
that.
Christy. Yeah. And it's I was looking at Wikipedia and just to find stuff. And of course this is Christopher Landon, who we love. So he
Yes.
he wrote and directed this one, which is
That's why it's kind
probably
of funny. Like it's got some humor to it that I really like.
yeah, and I think he probably put more attention to this one than he did the other ones because he's directing it. Um, but I'll just get this out of the way right now since I have my phone out. So its budget is 5 to 9.2
Wait, what?
So 5 to 9.2 million.
Okay.
I don't. They still consider this not making. I guess in comparison to the first three, but it still made $91 million
Mm-hmm.
from a. We'll average it out like $8 million budget. That's still a hit.
Hmm.
So, but they're
Anytime
considering it
it's
to be.
like, even if it was $30 million, it's a hit because if it's double its profits, or whatever, uh, plus extra, all that extra, it's a hit, you know.
Yeah, I mean, all of these made a lot of money, but I
Hmm.
guess maybe they considered them to not make as much because of the first three. But yeah, so it's Oxnard. It's 2021. Pardon me.
Bless you.
Thank you. There'll probably be another one. And so I'm going through this, and it says, okay, Allie Ray. They meet up with that girl in the park
Hmm.
that gives them all the information.
Hmm.
I it's highlighted, so I clicked on it. That's the daughter from part two.
That's the daughter from part. Oh, the missing daughter.
That's the remember when we were saying what happened to the daughter?
Yeah, because she kind of went off
That's
to college or whatever, and we never saw her again. Or so, or
yeah,
not college, but she just like left. Like we never saw her again. Wow.
yeah,
Well,
and it says Allie Ray, who had researched demons after her father Daniel and stepmother Christy were killed, and half brother kidnapped by a possessed Katie.
right?
So now we know where she went, and then if you go
Is it
further
the same girl
down,
too?
yeah, it's the same actress. I checked.
Oh my God, I'm looking at
So
that's
then,
really cool.
yeah, then another one highlighted is simply Lois's house. And this is so the grandmother is pushed down the stairs. I liked her. I thought it was sad when she died. She was only trying to help, you
Did
know.
she die though? Because they did say she had like a
Well,
contusion or something,
okay,
and
maybe
there
I missed that. I know
yeah,
they
I heard them say like she was rushed to the hospital and stuff and
she
not.
had a lot of blood.
I know that's what like really kind of confused me because they cut after he runs down, they cut to another scene and they're saying like the cops are taking, or she's getting taken to the hospital and blah blah blah. And I'm like, wait, for isn't she dead?
I
But apparently,
That's what I thought. Yeah, and I remember them saying the hospital, but nothing else. And I guess the friend didn't rat his buddy out. I mean, it's clearly that he pushed her down the stairs. But so it says Lois's house. So it's
oh yeah, hold on real quick. This answers it. Irma is pushed down the stairs by Jesse and taken to a hospital. So it doesn't say she died, so
yeah,
it
it
just
just says
says,
that she went to the hospital.
yeah,
Yeah, I'm
so
looking at the same thing you
yeah,
are.
so there you
Um,
go.
and then a little further down, it says that Hector Maricel Arturo, who's the gang guy, and his friend is the gang guy, go to the address, which is, I guess, what Allie gives them. And it turns out to be Lois's house. I'm like, who's Lois? So I
And
clicked
that's
on
you
it,
clicked on it.
and that's the house from Paranormal Activity
Three.
3.
Yep. I knew that like because I watched that explained thing and it explained like they went back to that house and I was like, oh, that makes sense. I didn't recognize the house. Like I don't remember what the
I
house from
didn't
part three.
either. I just remember that house, all the furniture was covered.
Right.
And so I'm like, oh, wait, is this house? Let me look. And then further down, when Hector, the friend, goes through the portal, which of
Hmm.
course goes to places that are evil, he ends up in Katie and um Mackay,
Micah.
Micah, Micah's house. So yeah, so okay, household of Katie and Micah, and of course Paranormal Activity.
Yep.
So
So
this
it ties it.
references three films.
Yeah. So it ties it all in, and everything.
Yeah,
And actually, remember I was complaining to you. So this movie did what I was complaining to you in the first thing about is that we don't get to see Katie kill Micah. Remember? Like in the first Paranormal Activity, I was bummed about that. You don't actually see him like get murdered and everything. What happens or whatever. You just hear it. And then she comes back upstairs, remember? And in this, you actually see it. You see her
yeah,
attack him and kill him. So you're seeing that scene. So in Paranormal Activity 1, she comes downstairs, sees, was it Hector? Hector,
Hector. Yeah,
and kind of freaks out, but then freaks out on Micah and kills him. And Hector's like, I gotta get out of here. I gotta get
yeah,
out of
because
here.
he time traveled backwards. He
Yeah.
went back in time.
Yep.
And then that's when the our main character shows up and kills him.
Yeah, and he starts like
So
banging on. Or was it no? That was before. He's banging on the door and like destroying the door, and then when he comes back up, he comes back to the pat or to the future. He went back to the future.
he went back to the
You
future.
should have had that
And
that music. You
yeah,
know,
there you go. And there is an alternate ending
I saw
to
that. I saw that on the Wikipedia as well. It's like original ending is the doc.
yeah, which
There you go.
they do show in a little bit, I think, in the documentary. They like go back to the church, and it didn't look. If I think they showed it, I tried finding it on YouTube, but it doesn't. it's not as good
No.
as the ending
No, I
that
just
they
read what it
gave.
was.
So
It was like apparently they do exorcise his demon out of him or whatever, and then the church catches on fire or something. I don't know. I'm just like, nah, not as
yeah,
cool.
it's and of course we'll talk about this when we look at the ghost dimension, because the same type of thing.
Yeah.
So it happens at the end, and it's weird is that it almost seems like they said, oh well, this ending didn't work for marked ones, let's use it for ghost dimension. And then they went, oh well, that ending doesn't work, so let's reshoot that too.
If it doesn't work on one, why is it gonna work on
Yeah,
another? I
it's
don't
not
know.
they're not churches, but it's a
They
happy
said it
ending.
just said church on the thing, so that's what I said.
The franchise documentary revealed the original ending, which was changed when they chose to film a new ending in the same house that appeared in the conclusion of part three. It occurs after Jesse is knocked down by Hector and
Marisol,
Marisol,
Marisol.
Marisol. They enlist Autor's help and take him to the church where they supposedly successfully exorcise Jesse. That's his name, Jesse's demon. After which they are attacked by coven members, the midwives. The ending concludes with Jesse and Hector observing a small fire starting inside the church. That's no, I don't like that.
Yeah, and then whenever you say exorcising a demon, I gotta be like, I have exorcised the demon. This
Can I leave?
house is
Can,
clear.
can I leave now? I would
From
like to
Ace
leave now.
Ventura, man. Come on, yo.
I would like to leave now, please.
Nope. You're stuck. Just
At,
like they
at
are in this movie.
at least you're not quoting like the Exorcist believer.
Oh no. That wasn't even that was Ace Ventura who was quoting Poltergeist,
I
original
well okay, so
Poltergeist.
that matches because it's Poltergeist. I would I can't quote for it, but I loved, and I know I'm crazy for this, A Haunted House 1 and 2.
Hmm.
I've never laughed so hard in my life. I've actually, I almost peed my pants laughing so hard. And I know people think those are horrible. I almost died laughing. I like it when grown men act like little girls, and I think it's hilarious when they like go screaming in the streets and they're crying, and it just cracks me up. So those would be my films. I probably wouldn't go Ace Ventura. I'd probably go A Haunted House.
Speaking of, well, I mean, so we have these two teenage boys, in this show, and I actually kind of like them, in this movie. Like I dug their characters. They're kind of goofy and funny, but they were like, just graduated teens. We see a graduation, and they're just, they're chilling, hanging out, they're having fun, they're poking fun at the Bruja, the witch that lives in there. They even make that poor little, well, that not poor little kid, but they have that kid come up to the door and go, Bruja. I was like, you
Yeah,
guys are
then she ends up right behind them. What is her name?
Anna.
Is it Anna? Okay, Anna. Then Anna's yeah right behind. So I have a question with all of these movies. Who's editing them?
So
I
I
might have
thought
brought
about
this
that
up
too
before.
because remember the first one explained this has been all edited by footage from whatever, right? Isn't that what they said?
Yeah, like the police department or
Yeah,
something.
the police department. So like it explains that. So I guess they think if you haven't, if you've seen the first one, like you don't need that explanation. I guess the police are editing them all together. Maybe the demons are editing it. The midwives are editing them all together because they want to warn the world that they're coming.
Yeah, I mean, maybe I would just think that at the front, if you really kind of wanted to make it look official, you would put this was edited by from 80 hours worth of footage.
From the
And
Oxnard, California police.
yeah, because one of the deleted scenes on this, because the Blu-ray here um has the theatrical version, the extended version, and then the extended version with alternate ending.
Hmm.
No, no, that's Ghost. Ghost has an alternate ending. that their alternate ending isn't on here. That's what happens when you watch them back to back. Um, but I did watch the unrated version, and then there's found footage is just what they call the deleted stuff.
So, just so everybody knows, because I'm going to be transparent and let everybody know this. I think we might have mentioned it somewhere or whatever, but the Paramount had decided to get rid of all of the Paranormal Activity movies except for
Yeah,
Next
that
of Kin.
sucks.
And I couldn't watch the rest of them because I just don't own the Blu-ray yet. Yet one day I will own the Blu-ray set. I'm like, why am I gonna do that when they're gonna make another one with Next of Kin in it eventually? You know, like it may
Well,
take a
mine
while,
has
but
next of kin.
oh, does yours have Next of Kin? I thought it just had all the first six.
No,
Is
it's
all
next of
seven?
kin and the documentary. Yeah,
Oh, well, there you go.
yeah. For right now, this is it. This is the box set.
Okay, then maybe I will get it at some point.
Yeah,
But anyway, so I don't have it, but so I wasn't sure how to look it up, and John had showed me that the Ghost Dimension was on Peacock. So I was like, all right, well that's good, but that doesn't help me with the marked ones. So I went to YouTube, you know, and I found that what is it? That the marked ones is on YouTube was on YouTube to buy for $5 to buy, you know? So I was like, fuck it. $5, that's like, and I'll own it forever if whether I like it or not. Could have hated it, but who knows, whatever. But it's on my YouTube and I have the marked ones and I watched that because I watched this before thinking this was the fourth one, and I told you that, like I started it
yeah.
and everything, and then I realized, oh shit, there's a fourth one. There's an actual fourth one, so I have to watch that one. And I was getting into that one too. I kind of, was like, oh, this is kind of neat. It's different. It's Hispanic and the characters are teenagers mostly, with the
Teenage
it's
boys, which is
teenage boys.
different.
Yeah, there's
Most of the
usually
stuff is
girls.
girls with her boyfriend. Yeah.
Well, yeah, there's the teenagers that are in
I
there
mean
usually.
Katie, and then the sister, and then in part three it's the two little girls,
But
and in
the
part
main
four it's
character
the
was
hot
the
blonde.
father or whatever in that one. So usually the
This is the
fathers
first.
have a big part. This
I
one
mean,
didn't
this is the
barely have
first
the
one.
father in it.
No, if I liked him because he's just like, leave me alone. I
Yeah,
just got home
pretty
from
much.
work. It's 1 a.m. Go
Yeah,
to
he's the most
bed.
sensible one
The
of
one
the
thing
group,
that annoys me about this is they've been doing like made up covers,
right?
and then they'll put the poster in. All they do is just repeat it
Okay, that's
because the
weird.
other one has like that statue
That'd be like a
that's
re
like
that's like that's reversible, but they're the same.
it's literally the same on both sides for both.
That's not
Yeah, this
reversible.
yeah this should be the statue with like that's bleeding, which was the
Yeah,
poster. I don't know if somebody just got lazy or not, but
that's terrible.
yeah. But there's two things in this that deleted is because I was wondering like, well, wait a minute, isn't Anna's apartment a crime scene?
Hmm.
And there aren't any crime scene. We see them originally put some up, but then they're down,
Yeah,
and then it's very easy to get into the apartment.
right. And
A
there's
lot of the
nobody
stuff
in
is
the yeah.
yeah, a lot of stuff is gone.
There's no
They're
tape around there.
no, they're
Caution
like
tape.
painting. So they're like they're trying to they have like the carpet taped off with the plastic as they're repainting and everything,
And they're there just touching everything, putting their fingerprints on.
which is yeah, not a good idea.
Which
And
you
then they
always you
find
always say, don't touch things,
stop touching things. Yeah. And then they find the trap door that from the original point of view where the hot girl who wanted sex, you couldn't see really except you kind of saw like the little ring, and then
Mm.
she pulls it up, and then that's where the guy who either killed or allegedly killed Anna,
Oscar.
Oscar, pops up. But
Yeah,
I'm
he's been
like,
hiding out in
wait,
that trap door.
so did the police not look in the apartment? Because from other angles, you can clearly see in the carpet there's a trap door.
Right.
Did they
Um,
just like are the police in on this?
I don't think the police are in on it. They could be lazy, and just not checking every room like that. They could have been just like, okay, doesn't
It's
look
in the
like
living
anybody's
room.
here, so then
it,
they
it was I mean, they went into a room and it looked like the master bedroom because she walks around a corner, which was probably the bathroom. But I'm sorry, unless the police are in on this whole thing, why haven't they from now, especially if they're the ones who are editing these films, why aren't they going like, well, I guess we should probably find these midwives. Maybe we should find some of these people who went missing. Maybe we should find Katie. Hey, look, Hunter disappeared. Maybe we should find
maybe
Hunter.
it's not the police doing the editing. That's all I'm gonna guess now because yeah, it does seem like that would be a thing, but um I'm trying to think
But so
because
the deleted scene, one of them is they're watching regular people leave Anna's apartment with all of her stuff. It's very short. It's only like 30 seconds or something. And one of the guys goes, yeah, but isn't that a crime scene? So I kind of wish they would have left that in.
maybe they didn't so that they they can have them walk around whatever and not people go, hey, didn't they just say isn't that a crime scene?
Yeah, because even Arturo gets in there. The
Yeah, he does, and he scares the shit out of everybody,
yeah.
you know. And he was like, just get out, get out of here. This is not a good place to be. Like, and they decide, oh, what are we gonna do? We're gonna bring, our dates, to this place and try to get laid, in this house or whatever. And
Which if Jesse didn't leave for so damn long, like, dude, where are you going?
he's trying to find a condom, man. Like, I guess he had to go to the store.
I guess. I mean, yeah, I would think his buddy probably didn't have one because he seems a little
Maybe he went
more.
back to his house and it took a while. Maybe he's yelling at his. See, that would have been some interesting shit to see, like him yelling at his grandma about it. And, but he didn't have the camera with him. He left the camera in that thing so that we could see, all the shit that popped up and everything. Because I was like thinking, he hasn't left that camera at all before. Why is he leaving it now? Oh, it's so that we can see all the, this stuff. And I'm like, that's kind of lazy writing to me a little bit you know. Like, I don't know. It I feel like it could have been better, you
Well, I
know.
mean, the girls handled the camera, Hector's handled the camera, Jesse's handled the camera. I mean, they've all played with the camera, but
Oh, they
I mean,
played with it
I
all right.
guess he's.
There's a
But they've
little stuff going on there.
what the what? What do you?
Like there was a lot of like she was talking about like fucking them and shit, like on the camera. Like she knew it was there and everything. So she was like kind of into it.
I
You
don't
know?
know. I don't know if she knew that she. Oh, you're talking about the girl?
Yeah, the girl, the girl who he had the camera, and then he put the camera down, and she saw him. She kind of looked at the. You didn't see her look at the camera?
Not really. No, I didn't even get that she probably knew it was there,
I think she did.
or maybe she thought it wasn't recording or something. Because
I
I
think she
don't.
wanted to make a sex tape. That's what I was thinking.
Wow. Okay. I
That
guess
was that
these
was
are
my take.
teenagers, sir. These are supposed to be teenagers
I'm
played by
just saying that
25-year-olds.
playing yeah, played by 25-year-olds. Yeah, no, and she was like, telling, oh, I want you to fuck me hard, and I'm like, God, is this a porno? Jesus.
I don't know.
You're
Maybe she didn't know the camera was there.
That's what
I
I'm
don't
saying.
know.
Like that's things she was
But I
saying. It
don't
just
know
sounded
why
like,
Hector would then want it there.
why not? He was probably into it.
I wouldn't think so. I mean, this
Well,
seems
because
like a
and I
guy who
was I
wants to
was
go to
upset.
college and stuff.
I was upset because he's already doing these like crazy fucking superhero shit already. I wanted him to like fuck her and she'd go like go through like the wall or something. And he's like, "Oh shit, I'm sorry,
I
didn't
think didn't
know."
they do something like that in Hancock, where he comes inside her and she shoots across the room?
Oh God, really? I have not seen that movie, but now
It's an
I want
awful
to.
movie. God, it sucks. But
Now I want to.
yeah, it's pretty bad. But yeah, I remember that. It's right at the beginning of the
Well,
movie,
then they
and
stole
they
they stole the Mallrats line then. Because that was a line in Mallrats where Brody says, he can only bang chicks with a kryptonite condom because if he came inside, nobody could handle it because it would, bust through her, through her, she'd bust the load through her back, Remember that line?
I don't yeah I don't think Kevin Smith originated that because there have been papers written about Superman having sex with Lois Lane and how she would be destroyed.
Yeah. So
I mean,
Superman
I
and
can't
Clark Kent can't
I
ever. So how do they have children?
I don't know. And Superman Returns, I don't know. It's a bad movie,
Or when it
but
was
they
not just Superman Returns, there's was it Superman and Lois or whatever, or that show or and whatnot. That like they have
I
children.
never watched that because
I
he
know
was not Superman to me. He does not look like Superman.
he does not, but that's I mean that's
He's not good looking enough. He doesn't have so no, but really, I can't believe I'm referencing Twilight. Remember, Edward couldn't have sex with her, couldn't have sex with Bella because he would destroy her. So they played chess.
oh, and that's why she's so emo and so like sad and so whatever.
Yeah, I guess until she became a vampire, they couldn't really do anything. So it's, but it's yeah. So I don't
Spoiler
know. I
alert,
mean,
Jesus.
yeah, maybe that would have happened to the chick in the marked ones too. I do like the beginning. I like when he first discovers all this.
All the
And
powers.
he's doing the skateboard and
Yeah,
he's
or
like
my favorite
falling
one was when he was going
backwards.
like backwards and he's having to catch him and the other dude actor tries it and he falls down and like fucking hurts
Well, and
himself. I was like,
well, and he
Jesus.
blames the ghost or whatever. He's just like, "Fuck, man! Why did he catch you and not me?"
I'm like, because have you been noticing that you're not, that special with that? Which one got the bite? Was it Jesse that got the bite?
Jesse got the bite. He's the main
Okay.
guy. Yeah.
It got me confused sometimes. Those two guys look a little bit too much alike.
That's racist.
No, I don't say it as a racist comment. I'm just saying they do.
Oh
I mean, did you think
my!
that?
No, I thought they looked totally different.
I did not. I was like,
You
wait,
might as well just throw the friend in there or his cousin. I think you said at one
no, I
point
could
that's my
tell him.
cousin.
Or Arturo was definitely different looking, and Oscar, I could
Oh,
definitely tell.
so another deleted scene is when they're in that shop that has all of like the Christian stuff and all that stuff where the grandma goes and they're
Hmm.
kind of walking around. That's really extended. So they're walking around like the place is huge and they're just recording, which I think goes back to what they said in the documentary, which is, oh yeah, we just film
Yeah,
and film and film. Because as I'm sure they just said, oh yeah, just go walk around.
right.
And they did. They went from like little building to a shack to a building. And obviously the stuff is set up for the movie,
Hmm.
but they're just, yeah, when you go through this door, go through this door, go through this door, go through this door. And they did. And it's yeah, it was kind of a long scene. So I think, yeah, that kind of shows that they just film and we'll just use what we think is necessary.
There you go.
Some other
Um,
stuff, a lot of the stuff that was cut out didn't really seem necessary. A lot of it was with like Simon, the game Simon. Like they cut out some stuff from
I
that.
I love that actually. I was gonna mention
That
that.
was so Christopher Landon. He says in the documentary that he has to keep upping himself. So
Right.
how do you he's got the turning camera. So he goes, Simon. We'll have him play Simon.
That's cool. So it kind of reminded me of how what is it in from the documentary on I think it was the first Insidious movie, and everything. It was like a making of the Insidious. Lee Wanell talks about how when he was coming up with the idea for like the big, like, I don't know, whatever contraption thing where they can where they can do all the writing of what's going on in Insidious, like they have all the it was because everybody always does seances, right? And it's always the same. And it's kind of boring. It's like people, holding hands and then calling whatever. And he was like, "How do I make this different?" And so he was like, what if I had the person wearing like this big thing on their head and, and it was writing down everything that, helping her write down everything that the person was saying while she was seeing into the whatever, into seeing what the ghosts
The
were
nether.
saying to her, you know. So anyway, point
Yeah.
is that they have to do something different. The Simon game was different than Ouija, you know. By the way, that's how you say it. Because I learned that from Carly shit, I'm sorry.
iCarly.
No, her
Oh.
name's Carly, but she was in the movie A Ouija House. And when I interviewed her, she said it's actually called a Ouija. It's not a Ouija. Just so you know. FYI.
Tomato, tomato.
I guess. I mean, people still call it Ouija, and it doesn't matter. Everybody knows what it is. If you call it Ouija,
Well,
people.
Stephen King is not Stephen King. It's Stephen King.
Is it really?
It's not. It's not spelled S. His name is Stephen. That's Stephen. That's not Stephen.
Uh,
Stephen is Steven. But we call him Stephen King.
there's another actress. There's an actress that had a weird, or had a normal name, and everybody just sort of let her them call her, but it wasn't. Never mind. I don't even know why I start these conversations when I think I'm gonna get it, and I don't, and I just can't explain it to you.
And they go on a little bit
I
too.
know they go on a little bit because I'm
They
like,
do. Yeah. The actress that I could think of is Mila Jovovich. Is that Americans call her Mila Jovovich,
no.
Jovovich, with the J, and she corrected Michelle Rodriguez on the audio commentary for Resident Evil, where Michelle Rodriguez goes, "Yeah, I was really excited to work with Mila Jovovich." And she's like, "God damn it! We worked on this movie for months, and you don't know how to pronounce my last name." It's Holovich. The J is an H.
Their names pronounced. Ah, okay. This is gonna suck. Um, yeah.
Are you trying to find the person that you're thinking
I
of?
am, man, 'cause it's bothering me. It was somebody who has like a normal fucking sounding name or whatever, but she actually pronounces it differently, and she just doesn't, lets everybody say it the way everybody says it. Now my brain's just never gonna remember it. Not yet. They'll come to me in my sleep.
Great, I'll
I'll
get a
wake up
message at
going,
3 in the morning.
yeah.
So,
I'll be like, I know it now. And it won't matter. So anyway, going back to this movie that we're talking about,
well,
Paranormal
so I mean,
Activity.
so stay on target. Um, so what do you think of this whole thing with the witches and the symbols? And I mean, it's kind of developed into this giant Michael Myers,
Well,
type thing with, where the man in black, and then
you
it's
only
like,
get that for like two movies though. And they're like, fuck that shit. We're not doing that anymore.
no, but it's going. They start off with something simple, which was just a ghost haunting a house, and now it's
Right.
turned into this giant coven, and it's, of all these women, that are taking firstborns, and there's the symbols, and now this huge history. And do you
I
think
mean,
it's
they're
getting
trying
out
to
of
make it
out of
like a
hand?
universe, I guess, like a thing, like where, where they could make a spin-off movie at some point called The Midwives, The Midwives Club. I don't know.
There you go.
There's your title, Jason Blum. Um, but no, it could be like, they could do those things because they've got these characters who sort of, have this big backstory. There's more to it. There's more to Toby. We find out later. Not in this
Like
movie.
in 1 and 2, they never say Toby. I know
Yeah,
they
and then
definitely don't say it in part
three,
one. Three is with the little girls where they do say
oh, they
Toby.
introduced Toby's name. But
Yeah. So I don't think this was obviously the plan, because then Katie would have said, "Oh yeah, this demon named Toby."
mhm.
Instead it's just a demon.
Right, she never called the demon by his name. She just said,
Right.
this demon. And so you're absolutely right about that.
I mean, obviously, there's if something becomes bigger, you're not you're going to add to it, and like we'll meet somebody's brother
mhm.
that was never mentioned in the other movies. You know,
Wait, did we do that? That
no,
never happened.
no,
No.
no.
That's
I'm just
good.
using it as an example.
But hopefully that never happens because I don't like that idea.
Well,
Like all of a
kind of.
sudden we have a brother. Like
I mean,
what?
or the twin brother or something.
Yeah.
Just things
That's
that we
that's
never
such
knew.
a that's such a cliche, but
Well, kind of like Fast X. How all of a sudden the guy that they killed 3 movies ago has a son that was in one of the cars that they blew up off of a bridge, and he survived, and he's now been waiting all this time, 3 movies later, to take revenge on that team. And it's like, no, we never even heard that this guy had a son.
right.
We just
But
heard that the
now
villain
we got to
died.
bring it over there because like that makes some drama that ties to the other movies so that they can
But they did do a good job of it. I will give them that. It's so far, it's still the best series as far as watching it, in order.
I would have thought that you would say Mission Impossible is.
But that doesn't go back in time. That doesn't
Oh,
flip and forth.
that doesn't flip flop at all.
No, no, they do have some stuff in the past, but it's just to reference something in that movie.
Yeah.
This one, if I mean, with Fast and the Furious, just what's his name? I'm blanking on his. Oh God, he's like one of the Asian
Vin
guy.
Diesel? No. Oh.
No, the guy that was in like A Better Tomorrow. His character, but he's died like 3 times in the movie,
Which
and they
which
keep
one was he
that.
in?
He's in almost all of them. He's in
Does
I
he
think it's called A
start?
Better Tomorrow.
Okay, Better Tomorrow. Oh, I might have saw him on a second ago. He's not Rick Yoon, is he? Johnny Tran? Or is that somebody else?
Uh, unless I'm saying the title wrong. I'm saying the title wrong. Um, and I can't believe we're looking this up.
I know. This
Fast
is
and
taking some
Furious
time out of our regularly
prequel.
scheduled programming.
Um, well, Justin Lin. That's easy enough. It's Justin Lin's first film.
You're yeah. I don't know. Anyway, it
Oh,
doesn't matter.
better luck tomorrow.
Better luck.
And
Sorry, folks.
and the character's name is God. I can't believe I'm blanking on. I'm gonna Han, Han.
Awesome.
So
We got
he
it.
became a fan favorite, and each
Right.
time he died and they brought him back, they shot a whole new thing from like Tokyo Drift forward. That's why I
Right.
think it's the best. Mission Impossible doesn't do any of that, and of course we found out that the worst is the Conjuring stuff. So
Oh yeah.
sad thing about Mission Impossible. Speaking of bringing that up, they've suspended Part 8.
For
Part
now, like
7 did so bad that they've suspended the film. I guess they're doing like a complete reworking of the movie. They're going to change the title, and it's not coming out until 2025.
uh, so is it going to be like a spinoff and not like a new
I
one?
don't know.
That's
It'd
weird.
be stupid to just make it its own movie, since this is called Dead Reckoning Part 1. Then where
Ah,
is Part 2?
And
but
then part two is going to be something else. Oh my goodness. Oh,
yeah, I don't know, and because it kind of does end in a way with that big train chase that you see in the trailer. Not to give it away, but it kind of does end. It's a little lackluster if this would be the ending of the movie, but yeah, the part 7 comes out on Blu-ray on Halloween next week on Tuesday. I have not seen one bit of advertising for it.
and this will be out after that, so people
Yeah,
can go and buy it.
yeah, but there's been no promotion for it. Nothing for it
Well,
coming
I
out
mean,
on
they
Blu-ray.
definitely can't
Nothing.
promote it with actors, and
No,
stuff.
but they could put commercials out saying
Or they could have the
coming on Tuesday
director.
the
Yeah.
31st. Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1 will be
You said they
on.
did so poorly, they're just not even caring, man.
I don't think so. I think even when the film bombed, we didn't hear anything. There was nothing. I think they had a giant meeting at Paramount to figure out what the fuck went wrong, and it was basically Barbenheimer and then that Freedom movie that screwed everything up, and Mission Impossible was kind of right in the middle.
And then you know
Sadly,
what happened? Then they got rid of all their paranormal activities on Paramount Plus, and it's just mass chaos right now at Paramount.
dogs and cats sleeping together.
Mass hysteria.
Yeah,
I
I don't
agree.
know why they would do that. I really
I don't either. I don't know unless they had like some kind of contract thing that said that they can't show it like on October and Halloween time
I don't.
because
They're
other
all
companies,
Paramount,
but they want them to buy them or rent them. They don't want people to see the ship for free.
but you're not. You're paying for Paramount.
That's
They're
true.
not. They're not making money.
Yeah.
That's the thing. That's why was it Zaslav took all that stuff off Disney, or I'm sorry, off of HBO.
That's completely like crossing. You crossed the streams there, buddy.
But they did kind of the same thing with Disney too. I mean,
Right.
they took
No,
off
yeah, they took
Willow.
everything. They
He
took Willow out and they took
Yeah, it's like it didn't exist. But Zaslav took off anything that wasn't making money. Like he took off. If Sesame Street was 50 years, he took off like 25 years
right,
because
because
it
they weren't
wasn't.
making money.
They weren't
'Cause they
making any money, and those actors were getting residuals. So I'm guessing the Paranormal Activity movies aren't making any money because
and
they aren't making them.
I'm guessing after this SAG strike gets over with and everything, and the deal is with all of these, everybody gets paid, all the actors get paid, something, per subscriber and everything, we're gonna see a lot more get deleted too. Because
There's a good
because they're not
chance.
gonna want to give everybody, you know, all that. You know what I mean? So it's gonna become a thing where we're gonna see a lot more deletion from
Yeah,
the
that's why
sites and
you.
everything. Just get you physical media. And then Best Buy is getting
Yeah,
rid of physical media, so and Target is like what's the whole point? Like they're gonna regret that decision because everybody's gonna want to run to Amazon or Walmart or whatever it is left and go buy them, or
yeah.
eBay.
It's like buy this. You got to buy this. This is that Paranormal Activity box set. You got to buy this, and you get everything, and they look beautiful, and there's a sticker
I mean, that's
inside,
the
and
that's a cool ass box set. I will say that. Um,
yeah. I mean, it
so
looks.
real quick, I do want to get
That's
back to
Toby.
this movie, and I want to talk real quick because we got about I want to time this about 10 more minutes.
Sure.
So, one thing I mean, you had told me about the superhero stuff, and I was like, oh, the superhero stuff is cool when he's bending down and he's doing the skateboard thing and he's beating up everybody. I mean, he's sending people through, whatever. Like that was pretty cool. But then when he does this big old, where he's like everything's all like I don't know behind him and everything, and he just comes out of nowhere and he just like you know what I mean? I was like, that looks cool, but that's not paranormal activity to me. Like that's
Oh,
something
when he
else.
comes out of the portal
Yeah,
and he's
it-
all demon like, and he puts
yeah,
his.
yeah, and he like puts his hands out and everything. I wanted him to like fall down with his one knee, like the fucking Marvel people do, and just stare at everybody. And I was like, this is just this is that was a little bit too much for me, because I'm like, you
Well,
know,
that's why I think it's part of the series, but it's over this way
right.
because nobody's acted that way. Anybody, Katie never acted that way when she got bit.
Yeah. So I don't know what happened, and it wasn't Toby that did any of this. I don't know which now we have another demon out there then? Because this wasn't Toby. He wasn't, nobody mentioned Toby. There was no, you know, like, and Toby was mainly, so the thing I realized is Toby generally wanted the first male, to come in, or whatever. And then, and this demon thing that possesses them, and I guess that's why it is a spinoff. I just it just tied too much together that I was like, oh my God, it feels like it's part of, like, it feels like it is part five, but I guess it's technically not, you know.
This would be the one where they could do like the marked ones part two and kind of go off of that. I don't think any of the other ones would match because, like, where did he go in the portal?
Mm.
He comes out of the portal. Where did he go?
Where can he go? Like, he can go to all these other
He can
places.
go to any place that's evil. So
Yeah, and
where,
he wins at the end, you know.
yeah.
So
But where,
like,
I mean, if you're going to do like a little kind of sequel to the marked ones, then maybe you could show where these other. We only see where the portal goes once.
but I guess they won't do a sequel because you said it didn't do very well, you know.
I
I
mean,
mean,
I
it
guess compared to 1 through 3, but it still made $1 gazillion off of its budget, and that's what
right.
people really should be looking at.
Yeah. Yeah. Blumhouse is looking at it going, damn, it's our lowest, one of the lowest. I don't know if it is the lowest or whatever, but it's one of the lowest, Paranormal Activity, box office scores. Let's just let's just make a new one and not, have that be anything to do with it, like there's no marked ones part two, you know. Um, but yeah, they could do a marked ones part two. So or Impelli or any of the other guys who were Jason Blum.
Well, yeah, I mean, like the Conjuring stuff. I mean, you could have the Conjuring, and then you have Annabelle, and then you have something taken from Annabelle, and then you make another one, and then you have something taken from that, and
Well,
they could. I think that this is one of the more interesting Paranormal Activity films.
and somebody was talking to me yesterday about that, and how it was. So what was great about Friday the 13th, the series, was that it was like artifacts and stuff, and that's what The Conjuring was, right? The Conjuring is all artifacts, you know, and stuff like collections, dolls, and other things that are in a
Right.
museum, and things like that. And they said they would have liked The Conjuring better if it were a series that like had each doll been or each artifact that the two ghost hunters, I'm blanking on their names, the Warrens,
Yeah.
collected, and stuff. And then we focused on Annabelle in one movie or a TV episode. And then next one we focused on another one. And I think they sort of did that in a way because you see like the nun thing and and then you watch The Nun, right? And then they did a spinoff with The Nun. So I think that it was The Nun was in The Conjuring 2 or something,
Yeah,
So
the nun.
then
Yeah, the nun is at the end of Conjuring 2. Yeah.
yeah, so then they bring in, they're like, oh well, let's make a spinoff on The Nun because it was a big hit. And then, but I don't think they had that in mind. I don't think they're not like Marvel where they already have an IP that people are well aware of, right? Like people don't know what these are yet until, maybe they know what the Warrens, the big Warren, they know that they went to the Amityville house. They know they went, they saw Annabelle, you know what I mean? So anyway, the paranormal activities sort of don't work that way either because, you don't have a set, there's nobody in there controlling the universe of the thing, right? There's nobody saying, okay, let's take this. and then we spin off this, and then we do this,
I
you know.
I I will disagree with that.
You think there is somebody doing that?
I think that, well, because since the main writer is Christian Landon, yeah, I think that yeah. I don't think
Well,
that we would have these references and stuff to the other movies if they didn't have. I think they, obviously they film and they film and they film and they film, but I think that there is a somewhat of a plan because part two is a sequel prequel, and then
I think they try to
you know
figure out like what did they do in the last couple ones? They look back and they say, okay, we got this Toby character, so let's bring that Toby back. Let's not do Toby in this movie because we want to concentrate on like a Hispanic world that we haven't explored, and
well, yeah,
stuff.
so it'd be more of a kind of instead of, let's say, Christian, it'd be more of a kind of like a Hispanic Catholic demon. So
Yeah.
it's like that movie that Sam Raimi produced, The Possession, is Jewish. It's a Jewish demon, and which is, I think, one of the first times it's
It
ever
just
been
sounds
done.
wrong though. It just sounds mean, you
Well,
know?
they got to get a rabbi, and so it's but that makes
That
it a
makes
little bit
sense. That
more,
makes sense. Yeah.
yeah, a little more interesting, which is where something like The Exorcist Believer utterly fails. Is they have you seen those stupid bumper stickers that say coexist?
No, but I'm
And
sure they exist.
yeah, they're everywhere. I'm surprised that you haven't seen one, but it's the idea is you could coexist by all religions, which you can't. It's also the joke in uh 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 Forgetting Sarah Marshall, and what's his face? Fuck, why am I blanking on all the guys' names? Snow, the singer.
Oh,
He
Aldous?
has
No? Yeah.
yeah, he has all the tattoos of all the different religions.
Right.
And Sarah Marshall points out to him, "You're an idiot because these things could never go together." And so
Right.
that's kind of like what they do at the end of The Exorcist Believer is they bring in like four different types of religions to battle this one demon. And of course, I think it was done politically so you wouldn't offend anybody. But they bring in all these religions, and it's clearly the exorcist demon is Catholic. So don't bring in somebody from Haiti with voodoo to try to get rid of the demon from the two girls. The exorcist has always been Catholic. And
Yeah.
I'm not
I mean,
even religion, but
and I don't even
instead,
think that's supposed to be like, why would, yeah, like that's weird. You
yeah,
know,
there's like actually like five, and they kill off the like the Christian priest pretty
like
damn fast.
voodoo priests can't do can't do exorcists, like that's not,
She
you
does.
know.
She puts all the stuff on the ground, like she makes the circle, and she hangs things, and because the beginning of the film takes place over there. And it's, yeah, it's absolutely ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. So I'm assuming that Toby and all this stuff in Paranormal Activity is would probably be more because they're always showing crosses and stuff that's probably more of like a Christian white demon, let's say, while the
Mhm.
marked ones is more of a kind of like a Catholic Mexican demon
Right.
or like Hispanic demon.
And I mean,
So
I liked whatever demon it was. We never got a name or whatever, but we know it is a demon that belongs with the midwives, which connects to everything. So, and then it also connects with the with them going into Katie's thing. So like,
I love
that
that.
that
God, do I love that ending.
yeah, that was great.
They
I
did
was
mess
just
up one thing.
excited to see Katie again, and once again,
Yeah.
like I said, I was excited to see the alternate ending to Paranormal Activity in a way. We got to see we get to see his death and stuff, which is what I wanted. And then the cops got to see his death when they came upstairs and were like, hey, what's going on in
Yeah,
there?
yeah. Hector didn't change anything.
Yep.
you know,
Could he
and
have?
I
Could he have? Could he have saved? You know, what if he had grabbed the guy and threw him into the portal with him? Micah, would that have changed the whole world?
Yeah, would have changed probably the whole universe. Yeah. Because I'm guessing Jesse took Hector's body through the portal. Because we never hear, oh, there were two men dead, one white, one Hispanic. Oh no, well Mika's not white, but two. I'll just say two men dead and one woman missing.
Wait, Micah's not who? Who's not white? White?
I don't think Micah's not white
Which one's Micah? The
from the first
from
film.
he's white?
No,
What was he?
he's not white.
I'm pretty sure he's white, dude.
He's not white.
Am I crazy? Do I not remember him at all? Like Micah Sloat? He's white as fuck, dude.
No,
He's the whitest white man ever. Are you fucking
no,
nuts now? That's a white man.
no.
That is a white dude.
Trying to see.
Micah's. Let's see what his heritage is. See if
It
it.
doesn't say. It says that he was born in Connecticut. No, he's like a mix.
I don't think so.
I
I
think
think
so. I definitely
he's
think so.
pretty white dude. Like
No, I
pretty
don't think
white.
so.
I
No,
don't know. Like
no. I mean, he was pretty fly, but no,
his
no.
freaking middle name is Einstein. I don't. He might be Jewish, but he's not. He's white.
Dude, he's not white like us.
I don't know. I don't believe
That's
it.
not even a white name. First name.
Micah? That's a fucking biblical name.
Well, that's not white.
Uh,
If it's biblical, then that means they'd be brown. They wouldn't be black. They wouldn't be white if it's biblical.
But do you know any like Micahs that are fucking
I
black?
I
I
don't
don't
know
know.
one
Or
person
any
named. I've never liked his name. I think I even said that in the first video.
but that's
I don't
his
know what.
but that's his real name. Like
Yeah, well, I don't have to like it.
it doesn't say. God damn it.
I'm gonna guess that he's probably a mix. Not that that matters, but
I'm gonna find it because heritage.
we're going over what you
I
wanted.
I don't even care because like I need to find this out. This is bothering me then. Ethnicity. He's Russian, Jewish, and Ukrainian. He's not, but
That's not
that's
white.
that's not white. He looks, I mean, he looked white to me and he sounded white. He didn't sound Russian,
Well,
you
because he
know?
was born in Connecticut,
Right. I just would have thought he
but his
was,
but his parents are foreign.
all right, whatever. Like, I guess. I don't know. He's Russian. So you're right. You win. I just always
Oh,
thought
there's no winning. There's no winning, and that you know
he is 62.5% Ashkenaz. Oh, that's not a good word. Ashkenazi Jew. I don't know what that is, but all right. I don't
can't
know.
be the correct pronunciation.
Well, it's got Nazi at the end, so it's not
I remember Schwarzenegger was given some hard times because of his name, and he's like, yeah, those letters are pretty right.
Schwarzenegger. Yeah, he joked about
Nig.
that in um yeah. So wow. Okay, so in his yeah, and he's 12.5% Spanish and 25% British Isles, English Irish. So he does have English Irish and which is white. But aside from that, so you're right, he's mixed.
You know what? You put one drop of chocolate milk. I'd say one drop of chocolate in white milk and just regular milk, and it becomes black. So there you go. There's
Anyway, I
chocolate.
I I, I liked him and I liked his name. I've always liked
I have no
Micah.
problem with him at all. It's like I know we're not staying on target, but it's like what is it from Catfish? Neve. I think we discussed this too. I
Yeah,
can't. It's
Neve Schulman.
I hate that name,
It's like
Neve.
Jewish.
I don't like it. I don't like it.
It's actually not his full name, I think. I think he has like an actual full name. Um, Yaniv. Yaniv. So that's his full name is Yaniv. but he just goes
Yaniv.
by Neve.
See,
Yaniv.
I would prefer the actual name then.
Yaniv
Yeah.
Schulman, because that's his Jewish thing. But I think people just called him Neve instead, and he just
Well,
left it
yeah,
like that.
it would be easier, but
Right.
I just never liked it.
You know,
I
he's a great guy though. I like him.
I
So,
because you know him personally.
well, his wife actually is from Virginia. A
That
lot of
means,
people I know actually knew her, So I did not know her, but you know, um, would have liked to have because she seems like a sweet person. Anyway, moving on. We're gonna end this, but we have to do our rating and stuff. So
so out of 1 to 5 ghosts,
I
I'm gonna
guess
give this
demons.
demons. Yeah, that's better. 1 out of 5 demons. I'm going to give this one a 4.
I was gonna give it a 4.5. I liked it. You know, I
I
had a
don't.
fun
I
time.
saw the longer version too. This was 101 minutes.
Yeah, I
So these,
watched I watched the hour and 27 minute,
yeah, I
or
think
whatever,
I read that this
24.
one is 12 minutes longer, but I would
Yeah,
have no idea what was added.
it
None.
didn't.
But it
I
didn't drag. Even being 12 minutes longer, it didn't
it
drag.
didn't. The movie itself, yeah, it definitely did not drag. And we talked about the we got the money out of the way, the budget and how much it made. So we done
Yeah.
that. So we're done. We're done
But
with
it
this episode.
it's let me say so then we can go is it's another one of these films, and maybe it is Christopher Landon, where nobody really hates each other. And I like that. Friends are friends.
There's
Nobody's
no
hitting on the
bickering.
girl. Yeah, it's dude, I love your cousin, or I'm not even sure if she,
Dude,
I think he said cousin. That there was none of that except for the two sleazy guys who wanted the backpack,
right.
and
And
they
those
got their
guys
just
got their
desserts.
comeuppance. So,
Yeah, yeah,
but then
and
I
I
didn't
hope
like that.
both
I
of them
didn't like
back.
that he beat the crap out of that his friend in the grocery store, or whatever. But his
But
friend
he
was
was
an idiot
under.
because I know his friend was an idiot and should have just like said, "Okay, whatever, you're being an asshole." Like, I'll talk to you later.
Well, they're young, but
Yeah.
before he really starts to change, Jesse, everybody gets along. The sister gets along with them. She goofs on him a little bit.
And she
The
still does,
dad
like
gets,
toward the end of the thing. She's
yeah,
wanting
like
to
when a
get
friend
Jesse.
draws the penis, she laughs at that. Um, so it's another film where everybody. I like that. I'm so tired of watching movies where a guy is alone with a woman and he tries to rape her. And it's like, God, come on, not every guy wants to rape a woman.
Well,
Like
I mean, they
some
did have
guys
those
just can be in
scenes
a
with the
room.
two girls and stuff, and them like, hey, but the girls were into
But that
them, like
that was
it.
consensual. They yeah,
Yeah,
they they
they were
they were
all into
going
each other.
back.
It wasn't, at all. And anyway, the one dude was like, I don't think she's into me, dude. Hector was like, I don't think she's into me, and he's like, yeah, she is. Come on, I told you, I heard her talking earlier and stuff, and he was kind of talking him up, and then the girl was like, hey, come with me, like, you know what I mean? So there was a little bit of, yeah, there's consent and there was love, out of everything. So I enjoyed the movie. I thought it was a lot of fun. Chris
Yeah.
Landon can, he's pretty fun. He knows how to make something kind of goofy and uh enjoyable. So
Yeah, it's his second directed film. The first one before this was Burning Palms,
yeah,
which we've discussed. So
which we don't talk about.
no, I'd love to talk to him about that if he's willing to. But it's yeah,
Might be a sore subject.
I don't know. I
He
mean,
might have gotten burned. Let's not,
some palms might have burned him. Some palms were burning.
you know, he got
Should
burned in the
probably
palms.
burn that movie.
Mm, from his resume. From
I
his
was I was
IMDb, like put.
I was
Man, I am so my brain is like fried tonight. What's
I
that?
was so bummed when I saw that. I really was.
What's that name you put when you don't want your name on the movie?
Oh, Alan Smithy.
Alan Smithy. Should have put that on there. It's like this wasn't my first movie. I don't know what you know. Alan Smithy's like 20,000.
If it was his only directing film, then it's oh, okay, now I see why he's not directing anymore. But since it was his first film and he's directed more and they're all good, it's
Hmm.
like what
No,
happened
you
on
may not like
this?
We Got a Ghost, but you wouldn't like it because of the premise of the idea of like it being a, you know, family comedy sort of thing, and you're
Yeah, I mean,
probably
I'll
wouldn't be a
probably
fan.
eventually watch. I did try to watch Blood and Chocolate and I turned it off.
Yeah.
Of course, he's a
But he also
co-writer
did
on that one.
Freaky, which we love. So, I mean,
Freaky was his movie. Blood and Chocolate looked like he was like a writer for hire. But the directing was boring. It was just Lost Boys, but with
and we loved
werewolves.
Viral. So,
Loved Viral. I think that there was probably a lot of him in Viral,
mm,
but he
yeah.
but he could not save Blood and Chocolate. I'll keep it and watch it one day, but man, I got 20 minutes through it going, this is so dull. I am so bored. And they're not really werewolves, they're just wolves.
I do want to buy more Blumhouse movies. I think I'm going to do that like soon.
Well,
It's
they
just
got that
buy
whole
more.
collection.
Yeah. I, I don't want to just buy like a whole collection because all money in one spot. But anyway,
Hey.
um, well,
All
thank
right.
you, John. We've talked
Hey,
enough.
did you give your rating?
Oh, yeah, I did 4.5.
Four and a half? Okay.
Yeah,
So what did I do? I did
4.
four. You did four and a half.
Yep. I
Okay.
liked it. I
All
think
right.
I liked it a little better than you did.
Okay.
But you still liked it. So there you go,
It's
everybody.
just it's no part two, but it's
Uh,
still good.
yeah. So I can't wait to discuss part six. Six. Oh my goodness. Woof. Part 6. So coming up soon. All right.
Yes, I did not return your text because, as you know, I don't talk about these things beforehand. But I did see your text.
Okay. We've got some stuff to talk about. Anyway,
Okay.
everybody, hope you guys enjoyed this, and we will talk to you soon. Bye.
Bye. Bye.